Yeah.
Hello everybody, Savat the Mighty here, and I'm back with another Eve Echoes video. In today's video, we're going to be revisiting the 0 km challenges, and today we're going to be doing that with a rattlesnake. Before we get started though, if you do like my content, please leave a like on the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I release new content in the future. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the rattlesnake here. So I made some personal choices here. I was going back and forth on some different things. But let's start off with the weaponry on here. So first off, as you can see, I actually have a strange setup going on. And that's because I've been bouncing back and forth with some ideas. So for 4 of these slots, I have a Pith C-type large rapid missile launcher. They have a 36.89 km missile range. And I figure if I am going to be sitting at 0, there are going to be ships that are going to move beyond that range. And I do know that the drones should be able to take care of them, as they are sitting here with an 85 km range. However, I did want to be able to provide them with some support that I'll actually be able to do that, and decided to actually go with 1 large missile launcher. I thought about doing 2, but I figured there's probably going to be a lot more things closer to me than farther away. So I finally settled on just adding the 1 in there to help them out just that little bit more when things are outside of my range. Also, since the mission we are going to be doing is Bad Hair Day, I do have a feeling I'm going to catch me a couple of missile disruptions, which are going to make those even shorter and become a little bit more of an issue. Okay, so what do we have to do for the mid slots on here? So we needed a big healthy tank on this guy, and we needed it to pretty much be cap stable. In order to survive, if we're just going to be sitting at 0, I need to be able to make as many mistakes as possible in my targeting, because basically what I want to do is select the enemies who are going to be nuding us and who are going to be nosing us. Get rid of those guys first, as well as along with high damage elites. Leave the guys who are healing each other and that stuff for later in the matches, and take those out as I see fit, and see if I can just clear enough damage and energy soak off the table. Does it mean that it has to be cap stable? No. Obviously, if you do it perfectly, you should be able to make your shield tank last for quite a while, but I prefer it to be cap stable for this, and since I could make it cap stable, I did. In doing so, it did require 2 Vrikalakas large energy Nosferatus here in the mid slots, and I'm also using 1 Predator Stasis Webifier. I wish I could have brought a Scram, but I just couldn't figure out how to fit that in and get that cap stability that I wanted to. For our drones, we're bringing 2 Mark 9 Ogres, and they should be doing a lot of our heavy lifting for us. Again, they can reach out to that 85 km. They should be able to target everything. They're going to have trouble with the smaller ships and the frigates, but that's okay. That's why we have the Rapids in there with our web. We should be okay. Now for our defense, what we're looking at is we have 2 Pith C-type large shield boosters. We want to keep those shields repping as much as possible, especially for that last wave. That last wave, we're going to be taking some pretty big damage at first, and that's mainly why we're doing that. For the rest of the time, we should probably be able to get by with 1. It's just going to be those big spawns whenever we're sitting at 0 that's going to be the issue. I also have 3 of the GIST C-type adaptive invulnerability fields, and I'm running a Pithum C-type reactive shield hardener. Now, I don't need any propulsion because I am going to be sitting at 0. I thought about maybe I could put a shield extender or something in here, but ultimately I went with the Nestworm Drone Damage Amplifier. I did that because I figure this is going to be a little bit lacking on the DPS, and what I mean by that is missiles state they apply all this damage. Those large drones state they apply that damage, but when you have large drones versus smaller ships, they're going to miss a lot. When you have missiles versus faster ships, they're not going to do the applied damage, so this damage is kind of misleading. So the tank needs to be real heavy, and I want to give it that little extra boost whenever I can. And so that brings us to the rigs. For our engineering rigs, we're looking at, I have a couple of semiconductor memory cell 3s in here, and I have 1 capacitor control circuit. Now this ship would actually have a higher capacitor with 3 of the semiconductor memory cells instead of the capacitor control circuit, but the capacitor control circuit gives it a much better recharge time. And whenever I'm going to be sitting there for a longer encounter, that recharge time can be a lot better than the extra 7 seconds that it affords me of the maximum cap. At least that was my thinking anyway. You guys can let me know if that is a correct way of thinking or not, and how you would do it. I would appreciate any type of input there. Now for the combat rigs, we went with all defensive rigs, and the first one that I have in here is a core defense charge economizer 3. This one here is going to increase our shield boost amount, and I find this one very, very handy, so I love using it. Second, we have an anti-EM screen. We threw that in there because it does have an EM hole, even with the natural resistances it gets from this ship. So I wanted to plug that up a little bit, and it was actually left into the comments on the last ship that because they were using missiles and cannons, that it would be a good idea to plug that resist hole for those missiles. Well, in this case here, we're doing another mission, and missiles are going to be a lot more prevalent, so I decided to take up that advice. Next and last, we have the Core Defense Capacitor Safeguard 3. This was essential. It enables the capacitor need adjustment minus 20% for those shield boosters. That's helping me get to that cap stability where I wanted to be at so bad. So with all of that out of the way, let's take a look at the defense here. We have 171,877 effective hit points out of the box. 46,622 are shield hit points, with an EM resistance of 52, a thermal of 42, a kinetic of 52, and an explosive of 60. Our navigation is 149.35. Not that that's going to come into effect very much when we're sitting at 0. Our capacitor recharge time is 807 seconds. We are stable, but just. So the stability is still going to require... I mean, we can have everything running and it should be fine, but if we start getting nuded and nosed and everything like that, we are going to want to kind of take a look at that and try to eliminate those targets quicker than anything else. Also, doing Bad Hair Day, we're going to be watching out for different types of E-Wars and missile disruption to try to eliminate those guys as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. Let's go ahead and undock the ship real quick and take a look at with everything hot so you can see that. And then after we do that, we'll go ahead and jump right into the footage of the last wave of Bad Hair Day. And you guys can check that out and see how it goes. Okay. Let's have a look here. We're activating everything. Now this is going to be a percent or two different based off of what that reactive is going to be doing. But let's take a look. We're sitting at 379,274 effective hit points, with an EM resistance of 86, a thermal of 84, a kinetic of 87, and an explosive of 89. This is a bad tank. It's just going to be a thick boy all around and should do just fine, especially with that cap stability on there. I don't foresee any type of issues, but hey, you never know. Alright, well, that's the fit. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy the footage of the last wave of Bad Hair Day. I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.
We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit.
It's murder. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
I killed it. I killed it. I killed it.
I killed it, it's murder.
Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder.
Go crazy, berserker.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want now. This ain't what you want. Who alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat, you'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious, release bombs, they go tick tick. Boom, you blown me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon, stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn, and I'm independent, so I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted, can't copy, printed, can't hold me down. I shape shift, I'm liquid. I killed this beat, I might get convicted. They know how I move, it was predicted. Persistent, spoke it into existence, so consistent, no assistance. Hear me once, become addicted. If I rap it, then I live it. There's no cap when I be spitting this.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
I've been up for 3 nights. My eyes are bloodshot red. Damn, I wanna see the sunshine. It's getting to my head. One look in the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy, but he runs away at midnight. feelings are perfect and I wish I were the same. Making bad decisions, it should be my middle name. I love playing with fire, it's my favorite. Watch me burn my whole house down, not feel a thing. One look in the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy, but he runs away at midnight. I'm sorry that I stole your car. Ain't got those tattoos on my arms that don't mean shit to me. Maybe you should pull the alarm, so I don't take it way too far. Die before I'm 23. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom.
Well, this is what happens when I'm out of my medicine.
There's collateral damage, I gotta go.
I'm sorry that I stole your